Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. In the soft glow of the living room lamp, Tom thumbed through the pages of his wife Lisa's latest scrapbook. It was a cozy Thursday evening, and the air was filled with the comforting scent of the jasmine candles Lisa loved so much. He smiled at the memories, their recent vacation to Maui, the surprise birthday party for their son, all meticulously immortalized with colorful borders and handwritten captions. Turning another page, Tom paused. There was Lisa, her arms wrapped around a man he didn't recognize. A wave of confusion washed over him. Maybe an old friend from college? He thought, squinting to place the face. But as he flipped through more pages, his confusion turned to dread. There they were again, laughing at a cafe, and another, a too-close dance at some dimly lit party. Each photo was a punch to the gut. His heart raced. His Lisa, with someone else? It couldn't be. Yet, the evidence was there, pasted into their family album for anyone to see. Tom felt the room spin as he confronted the impossible. Why would she include these, he muttered to himself. Rage bubbled inside him as the betrayal sank in. The sound of the front door creaking open snapped him back to reality. Lisa walked in, humming, carrying groceries. Seeing Tom with the scrapbook, she paused, a smile still playing on her lips. Found my new project, huh? I got a little creative today. Tom held up the picture of her with the stranger, his voice barely a whisper. Creative? Who is he, Lisa? Her smile faltered. Tom, I can explain. No, save it. I don't even know who you are anymore. Tom's voice grew louder, each word sharp and accusing. Lisa's eyes widened, her groceries forgotten on the floor. Tom, please, let's talk about this. It's not what you think. But Tom was beyond listening. The images had ignited a fire within him, one that whispered dark thoughts of revenge. He stormed out, slamming the door behind him, leaving Lisa standing alone amidst the spilled groceries. As he drove aimlessly through the night, Tom's mind raced. I'll make her pay for this deceit, he thought bitterly. He didn't know how yet, but as the city lights blurred past, a plan began to form, fueled by the raw wound of betrayal. This was just the beginning. Tom was sure of one thing: by the time he was done, Lisa would regret her actions deeply. The scrapbook that once symbolized their shared joy would now be a testament to their fractured lives. And with that, the stage was set for a story of love betrayed and a revenge that would shake the foundations of their existence. Tom couldn't sleep that night, his mind ablaze with betrayal and revenge. Every time he closed his eyes, the images of Lisa and that man haunted him. By the time dawn cracked the sky, he had made up his mind. He would confront the man before making any decisions about Lisa. He needed answers, and he needed them now. His search began at the cafe from the scrapbook photos. It was a quaint little place downtown, popular among the locals. Tom showed the barista one of the pictures. Have you seen this guy around recently? The barista glanced at the photo and nodded. Yeah, he comes in here sometimes. I think his name is Derek. Derek, Tom repeated, the name tasting like venom on his tongue. He left the cafe with a new target in his sights. Later that day, Tom found Derek walking out of an office building. Without a second thought, he approached him. Derek, he called out, watching as the man turned. Yeah. Do I know you? Derek looked puzzled but not alarmed. You know my wife, Lisa. I think we should talk. Tom's voice was calm, but his eyes were steely. Derek's confusion shifted to recognition, then discomfort. Look, I don't want any trouble. You should have thought about that before. Tom stepped closer, his presence commanding. Meet me at the park in 30 minutes. We're going to sort this out, one way or another. The park was empty, the overcast sky mirroring Tom's mood. Derek arrived, hesitant. What do you want from me? Tom looked at him, his anger fueled by the man's cowardice. I want to know everything. How long? Why? It was never serious. Just a stupid mistake. Derek's voice was low, filled with regret. Not serious. You're in her scrapbook, like part of our family memories. Tom's shout echoed off the trees. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know she was going to put those photos in there. We ended it. It's over, Derek pleaded. Tom's heart raced, but he saw an opportunity. You're going to help me. If you're truly sorry, you'll help me make things right. Derek hesitated. What do you mean? You're going to tell Lisa you're exposing everything to me, that it's eating you up, and you need to come clean for your own sake. Derek was taken aback. You want me to lie to her? It's not a lie. It's a reckoning. She thinks she can play with people's lives. She needs to feel what that's like, Tom said, a sinister calm in his voice. Derek nodded slowly, defeated. Okay, I'll do it. Tom watched Derek walk away, a cold satisfaction settling in. This was just the beginning. Lisa's turn would come. But first, she had to experience the paranoia, the fear of everything falling apart, just as he had. He walked home, a dark plan taking shape, ready to reclaim his life from the ruins of betrayal. Tom's heart was a tight knot of anticipation as he waited for Derek to make his move. Days passed, and each moment stretched into agony, filled with the suspense of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Finally, one chilly evening, his phone buzzed. It was Derek. It's done. I told her everything. She's devastated, man. I think you got what you wanted. Tom clenched his jaw, feeling a bitter mix of satisfaction and remorse. Meet me at the old warehouse on Baker Street in an hour. We need to wrap this up. As Tom approached the dimly lit warehouse, the shadows seemed to dance around him, reflecting his turbulent emotions. Derek was already there, pacing back and forth like a caged animal. What now? Derek asked, his voice tense. Tom looked around, ensuring they were alone. Now, we make sure you're out of the picture for good. You'll leave town, disappear. It's better for everyone. Derek nodded, resigned. And Lisa? She's part of my plan. Don't worry about her. Just make sure you're not seen around here anymore. As Derek walked away, Tom felt a cold satisfaction wash over him. Phase 1 of his revenge was complete, but the real challenge lay ahead. He needed to confront Lisa, to see the betrayal in her eyes and watch her world crumble as his had. Later that night, Tom sat in the living room, the scrapbook on his lap, waiting for Lisa to come home. The house was silent, save for the ticking of the clock, each second a reminder of the impending confrontation. When Lisa finally walked through the door, her face was pale, her eyes red-rimmed. She stopped dead in her tracks upon seeing Tom. Tom, Save it, Lisa. I know everything, Tom interrupted, his voice cold and steady. He tossed the scrapbook onto the floor between them, the pages fluttering open to reveal the photos of her and Derek. How could you do this to us? Lisa's shoulders slumped, and she sank onto the sofa, covering her face with her hands. I'm so sorry, Tom. It was a mistake. I never meant to hurt you. Tom stood over her, his anger flaring. A mistake? Is that what our marriage meant to you? Just something you can throw away on a whim? Lisa looked up at him, tears streaming down her face. It wasn't like that. I was lonely, and you were always busy with work. Derek was there, and it just happened. That's no excuse, Tom said, his voice breaking with emotion. I trusted you, Lisa. And you destroyed everything. He turned away, unable to bear the sight of her distress. I want a divorce, Lisa. I can't be with someone I don't trust. Lisa sobbed, her whole body shaking. Please, Tom, can't we try to work this out? I love you. But Tom was resolute. It's too late for that. You should have thought of that before. With that, Tom walked out of the room, leaving Lisa alone with her guilt and the ruins of their shattered life. As he packed a bag to stay at a friend's house, he felt the weight of his decision. The revenge had been sweet, but the taste it left was unexpectedly sour. This was just the beginning of a long, painful journey for both of them. Tom had spent the last few weeks in a grim silence, his mind whirring with the last pieces of his vengeful plan. The revelation of Lisa's betrayal had broken something in him, something he knew could never be repaired. The only solace he found was in the cold, calculated steps he took to ensure Lisa felt the depth of his hurt. One brisk evening, Tom stood outside their once shared home, now just a hollow shell of memories. He watched as Lisa arrived, her steps hesitant, her eyes wary. She had sensed a change in him, a darkness that she no longer recognized. This was their final meeting, the divorce papers were ready. As Lisa entered, Tom's demeanor was chillingly calm. I have something for you, he said, extending an envelope. Lisa took it, her hands trembling. Is this the divorce papers? Tom confirmed, his voice devoid of emotion. And something else. Lisa opened the envelope and out fell a series of photographs, images of her and Derek, images she had never seen, taken from angles she didn't understand. Her face blanched. Where did you get these? I've had you watched. Not just you, but Derek as well. Did you think your betrayal would go unnoticed? That there wouldn't be consequences? Tom's voice rose, a menacing edge slicing through the air. Lisa backed away, her eyes wide with fear. Tom, you're scaring me. I made a mistake, but this is too much. A mistake? Tom laughed, but there was no humor in it, only scorn. No, Lisa. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk at the store. What you did was a calculated betrayal, and now you will learn what it means to truly lose everything. Lisa's voice broke as she pleaded. Please, Tom, can we not end it like this? I know I hurt you, but this revenge, it's destroying you too. Tom shook his head, resolute. This ends today, Lisa. From this moment, you're nothing to me. You will leave this house and not come back. The money from the sale of this place will be donated to charity. You will leave with nothing, just as you left me with nothing but pain. Lisa sobbed, collapsing into a chair. Tom, please. There's nothing left to discuss. Goodbye, Lisa. Tom turned to leave, his heart heavy with the finality of his words. But before he could reach the door, the unexpected happened. The sound of sirens pierced the night, and flashing lights bathed the room in red and blue. 2 police officers appeared at the door. Thomas Johnson, one of them asked. Yes, Tom replied, confused. You're under arrest for harassment and stalking. You need to come with us. As the handcuffs clicked around his wrists, Tom realized his plan had backfired. Lisa had turned him in, using the evidence he had provided against her as proof of his own crimes. As he was led away, Tom looked back at Lisa one last time. There was no triumph in her eyes, only sadness and a deep, unyielding fear. The final blow had been struck, but not by him. In his quest for revenge, Tom had lost himself, and now, as he faced the consequences of his actions, he knew that Lisa's betrayal and his own response to it had destroyed more than just their marriage. They had lost themselves to their darkest impulses, and from that, there was no returning.